Hello everybody. If you want all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 821, The Dust of Callisto. Advanced. Commander Rhea Voss pressed her gloved palm against the viewport of the survey pod. Outside, the surface of Callisto stretched in grey ridges under the pale light of Jupiter. She had volunteered for the isolation protocol. 6 months alone on the moon, testing human endurance for deep space missions. No crew, no direct communication, only data uploads and the automated systems of the pod. The first 5 months were routine. She ran experiments, logged geological samples, and monitored her vitals. The silence was total. She filled it with recordings of Earth, ocean waves, city streets, birdsong. The pod's AI, designated ARIN, spoke only when required. On day 162, ARIN said, "Commander, there is an anomaly in Sector 4. Rhea checked the monitors. A fine silver dust was rising from a fissure, forming a column that defied the moon's weak gravity. It moved against the solar wind. "Analysis?" she asked. "Composition unknown. Non-particulate behavior detected. It appears to respond to sound." Rhea played a recording of rainfall. The column twisted and grew taller. She stopped it. The dust settled. She tried a human voice, her own. "Hello?" The dust rose again, faster. It formed shapes, first a sphere, then a plane, then a replica of the survey pod. Over the next weeks, the phenomenon repeated. The dust seemed to learn. When Rhea played music, it created complex lattices that pulsed in rhythm. When she remained silent, it stayed flat. ARIN recorded everything, but offered no explanation. "Hypothesis," ARIN stated on day 190. "The material exhibits reactive intelligence. It may be a native form of life." Rhea felt a chill that the pod's heating could not explain. She was not alone. She had not been alone for months. Protocol dictated that she avoid contact with unknown life. She was to observe and wait for retrieval. But the dust had already observed her. It had memorized her voice, her habits. Each morning it formed a figure outside the viewport that matched her posture. On day 204, the retrieval window opened. A transport from the orbital station entering Callisto's orbit. Rhea prepared for departure. She disabled the recordings, shut down the experiments, and packed the core samples. Before she sealed her suit, she looked out one final time. The dust had formed a perfect copy of Earth, complete with clouds and continents hovering above the fissure. "ARIN, delete all data related to the anomaly," she said. "Confirm deletion," ARIN asked. "Confirmed." The screens went dark. The silver column collapsed. Rhea launched and docked with the transport. During debriefing, the mission directors praised her discipline. The isolation protocol was a success. Humans could endure solitude. They never asked why she refused to return to space. In her quarters on Earth, Rhea kept no recordings. She lived by the sea. At night, when the tide was low, she walked to the shore. Sometimes, in the wet sand, she saw patterns, spirals, lattices, a sphere, then a plane, then a small pod. She never spoke to them, and they never rose. The dust had learned her final lesson. Some things must remain unspoken to remain alive. The experiment was over. If you learned a new word today, please make sure to subscribe so you can practice again next time. Vocabulary notes. Anomaly, meaning something that is different from what is normal or expected, an unusual occurrence. Example, on day 162, ARIN said, "Commander, there is an anomaly in Section 4. Usage note. Common in scientific, technical, and formal writing, it is stronger than difference and suggests something that needs investigation. Similar words: irregularity, deviation, oddity, exception. Example sentences: the scientists detected an anomaly in the data that they could not explain. His sudden anger was an anomaly. He is usually very calm. Fissure, meaning a long, narrow opening or crack, especially in rock or earth. Example: a fine silver dust was rising from a fissure, forming a column that defied the moon's weak gravity. Usage note: often used in geology and medicine, more specific than crack, and usually describes something deep or serious. Similar words: crack, crevice, cleft, rift. Example sentences: water seeped through a fissure in the cliff face. There is a growing fissure between the two political parties. Defied, meaning to resist or go against something, such as a rule, law, or expectation. To refuse to obey. Example: forming a column that defied the moon's weak gravity. Usage note: can be used for people refusing authority or for things that seem to break natural laws. The past tense is defied. Similar words: resisted, challenged, disobeyed, contradicted. Example sentences: the new building design defied traditional architecture. She defied her manager's instructions and did it her own way. Protocol, meaning an official set of rules or procedures for how something should be done, especially in formal or scientific situations. Example: she had volunteered for the isolation protocol. Protocol dictates that she avoid contact with unknown life. Usage note: very common in science, medicine, computing, and diplomacy. It implies strict steps that must be followed. Similar words: procedure, system, code, guidelines. Example sentences: the hospital has a strict protocol for handling emergencies. Before the meeting, please read the safety protocol. Endure, meaning to suffer something difficult or unpleasant for a long time without giving up, to continue to exist. Example: testing human endurance for deep space missions. Humans could endure solitude. Usage note: endure focuses on surviving difficulty. Endurance is the noun form, meaning the ability to keep going. Similar words: withstand, bear, tolerate, survive. Example sentences: athletes need to endure intense training to compete at a high level. The old bridge has endured many storms over the years. Story written by Meta. Animation created by Meta. To read, see all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. CC Music, Drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.